I don't understand why Africans hate their own people. Like, just because we live in a different country doesn't make us any different than y'all. I mean, sure, our culture is different, but genetically, we're literally the same. And you want to know what's crazy? African people copy American culture, and black people want more of their culture. Like, really? We're literally going in separate directions, and that's what's dividing us. This stupid ignorance on both sides needs to stop. Like, it's honestly so dumb, I can't even believe I'm ranting about it on TikTok right now. Just love everyone. Understand both sides. It's that easy. And honestly, this is something I can read about all day.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing great and I hope you're well. So thank you for always tuning in, and to my new viewers, please consider subscribing and joining the conversation. And to my returning subscribers, I appreciate you all for always rocking with me. Now let's get into today's discussion. Well, this topic has been making rounds for a while. Why do some Black Americans and Africans have tension? Shouldn't we be more united as Black people, but instead we keep seeing arguments, disagreements, and even resentments? I've got a couple of videos showing both sides, some Black Americans explaining why they feel Africans don't like them, and Africans saying they actually welcome Black Americans with open arms. So let's watch these clips and then I'll share my thoughts at the end.
Can y'all stop asking us to come to Africa? Underneath all of our videos, whenever we're speaking about something and speaking about what we're going through, here come y'all from Africa talking about, oh, come back to Africa. This is where you belong. This is your home in Mother Africa. You don't have to deal with that. Come here. We're not leaving what we have built to come over there with y'all. Y'all don't even want to be over there with your Mother Africa. Your mother treats you so bad that you want to leave her house to come over here and freeload in our house. Your Mother Africa loves you so much and takes such good care of you that you have to abandon her to come over here and live off of us. Why in the world would we want to go somewhere where the natives don't even want to be? You don't want to be in your own continent, but you think that we want to be there after we have worked and suffered and struggled to build this great nation? You think we're going to leave and come over there? Nah, it don't work like that. The only reason why y'all want us over there is because you want what we have. You can see how powerful and great we are because you see and you watch us over there, idolizing us, worrying about what we're doing and how we're getting it done.
Even as a Nigerian American, they even look at me, I don't have culture. They look at me as like I am just Oyinbo. They call me Oyinbo. They call me all these terminologies because they don't look at me as being African. I'm not African to them. I'm American. That's exactly how they view me. I don't feel really, I have a hard time making friends there. I was there for 7 months. I have a hard time making friends. I have a hard time really like truly. This is home in Nigeria. In Nigeria. You understand? So I don't know. I feel like this is my home, but me too. I yearn for that connection. I yearn to want to go back home and connect with where I'm from and embrace my culture and everything like that. But yeah, I sometimes too, I feel like an outsider. So I can definitely relate to that. I've even gotten to like little arguments in like my Uber drivers, and you know, they Uber drivers in Nigeria, they're so useless. I'm sorry, I had to put that out. So I'm sorry. I have to say that. But they will come at me because sometimes maybe I may be talking to them and giving them direction. This is your English or your phone. Calm down. I don't understand this, your English. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm speaking normal, but my accent sometimes is too much. But I tone down. Even still, I tone down. I try to talk as if I'm from Nigeria, and still my accent is still too strong. My American accent is still too strong for them. So it's like myself, I can relate to you guys as well, because I feel like trying to connect, find that sense of belonging. I yearn for that as well. But it's so hard when I'm not being embraced.
I think a lot of Africans have been told to stay away from Black Americans.
Yeah,
for sure. Once they interact with African Americans, I think it's a little easier for them to say, from what we see on the outside looking in, this community is maybe in more in shambles than we want to be, and we don't want to become them.
The fact that we don't meet each other's families is the problem because of that stereotype.
So we already know that Africans and African Americans don't get along. The hate is very evident when you hop online, but that's the thing. When you hop online, I don't see this shit in person at all. Okay, I'm lying a little bit. There will always be somebody that's mean, but that's not what I'm talking about. My point is that the hate is strong online, but there's lots of love in person. As an African, I love African Americans. I have so many African American friends. We get along just fine. And I bet you if I asked any of them what they think of Africans, they won't have anything bad to say. We can talk about the bullying that Africans endured by African Americans in school, but that's not what I want to talk about. Just because I'm not in school anymore and I don't get bullied for being African anymore. I have learned to let that go because I decided to love myself. And I've been able to see that a lot of the African Americans that bullied me are now grown or the same age as me, and they don't think like that anymore. If you're Black and you go to any part of Africa, I bet you will be loved and welcomed. So just remember that just because there's hate and division online, it doesn't mean that it's the same thing in person.
I've seen a lot of Black Americans asking why Africans hate them, and I'm going to answer the question for you. Number one, this American ego transcends race. It doesn't matter if you're white American, brown American, or Black American. There seems to be like this ego that makes you think that you are the main character wherever you go. Therefore, when you go to places in Africa, you get surprised when you're treated like just another tourist. I've heard people saying stuff like, they only cared about my dollars. Yeah, this is a supermarket. You've gone there expecting a kinship and connection with people whose history diverges from your history. When those slave ships took off, the countries that, you came from, they went on. There were still things happening to them, and there's still things happening to them today. Your history isn't as shared as you think that it is. There isn't this kind of Black kind of community in a lot of countries in Africa because everyone's Black. I would get it if you were in Sweden and you're walking past another Black person and they didn't smile at you, and it's like, we are the only Black people here, like in this city. I'd get it. But you can't go to Africa and expect Black people to care that you're Black. And also, it's not a hate of Black Americans. There's a hatred of Americans in general. A lot of places do not have a great history with America. And while it's very much clear to us that we can live in countries like England with terrible histories and who are right now selling billions of pounds and arming places like Israel, we can understand that within these countries there are different politics, there's different dynamics, there's still social hierarchies. You cannot expect people who are on the receiving end of the violence of the countries that we live in to care that we are not at the top of the social hierarchy here. But I get called European child by my own relatives who I am literally biologically related to. Because nobody cares, because I was raised in Europe, so I might as well be white to them. You can't go to other countries and bring the race dynamics of your countries to theirs. And there are places where you go where people won't treat you like that. People will accept you and will be like, oh, I'm so happy that you're here. But you guys keep going to places that are heavily populated by tourists, by American soldiers, and a lot of these American soldiers are Black. And then you're acting surprised when people aren't that, shocked and happy to see you. So to conclude, it's not that they hate you, it's that they don't care about you.
Dear Black Americans, you are taught that Africans, we are savages. We are not. We are cultured. We are educated. We are knowledgeable. Unfortunately, we are poor on the surface. But beneath us, we have everything the whole world needs. They tell you this to try stop you from coming back to motherland because you are the very, very backbone that builds their economy. If you were to relocate back to Africa, you would disable them as a continent. Africa is the only place you would never be racially discriminated against. Africa is the only place where you would never have to fear if you would die the next day or not. Black Americans, you are us. We care about you. We need you as much as you need us. Your color tells you who you are and where you belong.
So let's unpack all this. On one side, some Black Americans feel like Africans look down on them, don't respect their struggles, and even stereotype them as lazy or disconnected. Then there's this frustration of being told, come home to Africa, because some feel like that invite should have come long ago. On the other side, Africans feel misunderstood. They say they don't hate Black Americans at all and actually see them as brothers and sisters. But they also feel like Black Americans only engage with Africa when it's convenient, embracing the culture without fully supporting African communities. Now, honestly, what I can say about this is, yes, we have different experiences, different upbringing, and different cultures, but at the core, we come from the same roots. So instead of arguing over who's more right or wrong, maybe we should be asking, how do we move forward? Because let's be real, if Black people globally were truly united, their strength will be unmatched. But anyway, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this conversation, please like, share, and subscribe for more trending discussions. So until next time, take care and bye-bye.